Okay, well, let's move swiftly on to the data released over the European session. Obviously, the Germans think they're going to lose £68 billion that they lent to the Greeks, so that's what they're looking at. But the factory orders today? Anything?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, just a slight contrast, really. The factory orders for May, as you say, the month-on-month number was down 0.2%. So slightly better than the forecast of minus 0.4%, but much lower than the prior read of plus 2.2. So a slightly negative number still, even though it was better than the forecast. What's interesting, though, is that if you look on a year-on-year basis, that numbers were positive and very strongly better than this time in 2014. So it's not all doom and gloom. We moved just over the border into Switzerland. They had some inflation numbers. The June CPI, this is the year-on-year measure we're looking at here. Deflation still alive and well in Switzerland. CPI number came in at minus 1%. It was again a bit better than the forecast of minus 1.2%, which compared
incredible. These people are in trouble. No wonder they were trying to fiddle their currency and everything else like that.
Well, yeah, it's very difficult for the Swiss. Obviously, they find themselves very much between the rock and the hard place. It's obviously the complete antithesis of Greece, and nonetheless, being a solid.
They should replace Greece in the eurozone. That would be a good way of weakening their currency.
Well, I doubt that's going to happen, but it would potentially be something. Or maybe there's some kind of clever swap of cash flows to be done. Anyway, that's the situation in Switzerland. Continuing deflation. As we've said, the Greeks have kept it interesting, voting no in the bailout referendum. I think perhaps one of the most interesting moves today was the resignation of Varoufakis, the finance minister. He's saying that certainly Eurozone participants had a preference for him not to attend meetings, and of course I think we'd heard that before.
Well, he still turned up though. But the other point is it's a good place for him to leave in terms of before the things potentially got rather messy.
Yes, I don't know if anybody saw it, but I called up today with a fantastic interview which a rival station had with him last week, and he didn't pull any punches, but he spoke very eloquently. So if you get a chance to dig around on the internet and look at that, I suggest you do so.
I think he may be fishing for a job in the private sector.
Quite possibly.